What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Second Accord, and I just wanted to show in-depth view of the Aokp ROM running on an Epic 4G Touch. I've been running this ROM for a little while actually, and I want to say that this ROM is great. There's pretty much no bugs, no major. Everything works the way it's supposed to. There's a couple of options in the ROM that are maybe a little buggy, but pretty much the phone's pretty much acts the way it's supposed to act. So just want to show that I have it running now. I'm going to go to the settings, and we're going to go right into the ROM control. There are lots of options in this ROM. If you've ever used CM9, this ROM has more options than CM9. So if you're that, and CM ROM can be a little buggy at the moment, so just to let you know. We're going to get right into it. We have the general UI. You can disable the boot animation, and I will show the boot animation at the end of this video. You'll see why they give you the option to disable it. Allow 180-degree rotation, so if you hit that, your phone can be used upside down. So you turn it upside down. Let me see. We have the horizontal recents window. So now when you hit the apps window, it's left and right instead of up and down. You can change the LCD density. If you don't know what you're doing there, do not mess with it, because it is possible to put your phone into a boot loop if the LCD density isn't supported for the phone. CRT off animation, that's when you hit the power button. That little cool little transition, you can turn that off or on. You can enable your volume option, so when you hit the volume button, it has a little settings here, and you can hit the settings button and you can change all your volumes right from the settings menu without having to go into the individuals. You have your custom carrier label, so instead of it saying Sprint right here, it says you can put whatever you want to. You have hold back to kill, so if you hold the back button, you can kill any app. So it's really cool. If you have an app that's kind of misbehaving or acting up, you don't have to go to a task manager just to kill it. You just hold the back button. You have rotation delay, and that's the delay it takes when you rotate your phone. You have your navigation bar, which is, I have the little navigation bar here. I do have a recent apps button, as you see at the bottom of my screen. Otherwise, to get to recent apps, you hold the power button, and it brings up your recent apps. You know, you can turn this off or on. You can disable the bar or whatever. You also have a menu button location, so when your apps need a menu button, you can have it be put. You can decide where on your navigation bar you put it on there. You can change the color of the bar. You can change the glow. You can have as many buttons as you want. You can have up to 6 buttons down here if you wanted to. And I usually don't use the button. I just enable it just for this video, just to see that you can enable the bar. But I want to show that you can change the width and the height of the bar. So you can make the bar as high or as low as you want. See how big the bar is now, which is really cool. So you can change it and make it really small, so it's barely noticeable. You see, that's where the bar stops, so it's barely even noticeable. We have lock screen options. You can change the lock screen wallpaper, which I don't know why my lock screen wallpaper changed, so I usually use the default. Lock screen text color, lock screen style. You can change the style. So right now I'm using the stock ice cream sandwich lock screen. Hit the lock button and You have your camera shortcut or your unlock shortcut. But that can be changed. You can change that to, let's say, ASOP. And now it's your gingerbread style. Or you can change it to quad or octo. Quad is pretty much the same as ice cream sandwich, but you have 4 shortcuts. And you can change all of these in order and make them custom, however you want to. And the octo is 8, so you can have the ring, and you have 8 shortcuts around there. And you have the honeycomb, which is just the ring. You can wait to unlock, so you can have it so when your screen shuts off, the phone won't actually lock. You can hit the power button and open it back up for a certain amount of time. You can put the battery percentage in your lock screen, so you can make it so right now the battery percentage is on there because I'm charging the phone, but it usually won't show up. So you can have it so it'll always be there. You can have the weather. I do have the weather on my lock screen. I don't know if you tell, and I have a calendar as well. Music controls. You can have it so you can, while the screen is off and you're playing music, you can hold the volume button up or down to change the track. You can have your calendar. As you said, a calendar on there. You can put the different colors of the calendar, so you can color code your events. You can have multiple events. Fast torch. It does not work very well. That's one option that's very buggy. I've never got it to work. The way it's supposed to work is when your screen is off, you hold the power button, and while you're holding the power button, the flash will come on, and you can use your flash like a flashlight, and then just let the power button go and it'll turn off. But I've never really got that to work too much. So, also we have horizontal lock screen, as makes it so while your phone is locked, you can use it horizontally as well. These are just your lock screen targets. So since I'm in the quad, you can change the apps that are on the lock screen. Power menu. These is when you hold the power button. So for instance, if I hold the power button, this menu here, you can add things to this menu. So if you can add the torch toggle, you can add your screenshot button. You can also show navigation bar, so it'll put a navigation bar in your power menu if you wanted to. We're going to go to the weather. You can enable the weather. And right now, and this weather right here is different from the lock screen weather. This weather shows up in your pull down menu. Right now, it's not really working because for some reason, sometimes when you enable the notification bar, like sometimes things in your pull down menu kind of disappear. So my weather disappeared when I enabled the navigation bar. So that's kind of one reason why I don't use the navigation bar, because I think it squashes everything and it gets rid of the weather, because the weather is usually right underneath the custom carrier label. So that's one thing to think about. You can have it so when you click on the weather in your notification bar, it will go to a custom app. So if you use WeatherBug or Google Weather or anything of that nature, you can have it start that app. And in your refresh interval, and in your weather style, so you can have it above carrier text, weather panel. So let's do panel and let's just see if it'll work. It should be up there. For some reason my weather's not refreshing, so we have power saver, and do not enable this. It gives you a pretty scary warning stating that if you enable this, it's not fully supported yet, and if you enable it, there's a way that your phone might have to be reset, factory reset, because not fully supported yet. So yeah, but you can adjust your data when your screen is off, and you can turn your screen off, Wi-Fi. So That's pretty cool. You have your status bar, and it's just your your options. Notification drawer. You can change the layout of the drawer, so you can have the regular layout, which is the way it is right now. You can do reverse, where your toggles and everything will be at the bottom instead of the top, and you can do the traditional. And traditional layout is none of this stuff is at the top. It's just a big blank screen. You can do the transparency. Right now, I don't know if you could tell, it's semi-transparent. You can see through it a little bit, so you can adjust that. Enable USB debugging icon, so when you plug it in, the icon will be there. So that's pretty cool. Toggles. This is where the customization of this ROM really comes into effect. Right now, I only have two toggles, and that's Wi-Fi, and that's my flashlight, which I use a lot, and my brightness. But you can add as many toggles as you want. Choose toggles to display, and you can have options to all these. You can put all of these toggles on there if you want to. There's a 4G, is data, sync, silent, vibrate, airplane mode. So you can put these toggles in there. Toggle order, so you can change the order of your toggles. Brightness location. So right now I have the brightness on the bottom, which, as you see, brightness underneath the toggles, but you can have it be on top of the toggles as well. Toggle style. Right now it's icon. It's a text, but you can do the icon. So you look up here, it's icon now. I kind of like the text just because it matches the theme that I'm going with right now. For all text. You can also use a button instead of the switches. So now they're buttons. So you can have the buttons line up, and you hit the button to turn everything off instead of the icon. And you can reset all the toggles in order. You have your clock, and you can change the location of your clock. You can put your clock in the middle, clock style, day of the week. If you want your day of the week up here in the notification bar, you can. I like to keep my notification bar pretty simple, but you can add all these options. You can change the color of your clock. You can also enable the alarm icon, so when you put the alarm in it, it'll show it, or you can have it so it doesn't show, which is really cool. Battery. Right now, see the battery icon. I'm using what's called the circle mod, but you can all different types of. You can do icon with text, or you can, there's all different types of styles of the battery icon. Icon with centered text. You can even hide the battery if you want to. You can do a battery bar, so instead of having necessarily a clock, you can have it so you can do and this shows you how much battery it is. So instead of having an icon, you can have this blue line, and this blue line will, when it's charged, it'll go all the way to the right, and it'll slowly go down as your battery goes down. So it's a pretty cool little icon thing as well. You have a charging animation, which I don't have on. It says it may result in poor experiences, so I have never turned it on. Battery bar color and battery bar thickness. So you can change the thickness of this line as well. Your signal, you can have your Wi-Fi, your text, and all this stuff. Instead of showing like your Wi-Fi or your 3G in a little graph, you can make it be like an actual number. You can also hide the signal bars altogether. You can change the color of them. So those are pretty cool options. There's performance. You can change your CPU. I don't think you can go above 1.2. So yeah, so that's Epic runs at 1.2 stock, so you can't overclock it. You can do the scaling governor. Right now it's on demand. You can use power save, you can use performance. If you put it on power save, you will notice that things will be laggy. The phone does get kind of laggy when it's in power save, but it's the CPU is running at a lower clock speed, so that's to be expected. I haven't really noticed the difference between on demand and performance, because on demand it doesn't have any lagginess or choppiness at all. On performance, it is a little bit snappier. Things are a little bit faster, but not too much to notice. But you will eat through your battery. You can set at boot, so you can apply your CPU level when you reboot the phone. Some other options, you can make a minimum amount of free RAM before the built-in Android task manager will kill things. Really don't have to worry about that. Epic has quite a bit of RAM, so scrolling cache, you can adjust that. You can do fast charge. All fast charge is when you plug it in to USB, like into your laptop or something, it'll allow it to charge at the full speed instead of capping it for like a USB. And you can adjust the color correction if you think that your screen is a little blue or a little dark, as you can adjust some fine tuning. And there's startup tweaks. I haven't enabled any of these. I really don't know what these are, and I don't really want to mess with things I don't know. But that's pretty much all the options in this ROM. This is build number 32. I think they're up to build 37, so they might have added other options, but I'm not sure. But this ROM it's a great ROM. It runs great. As you can see, everything in this phone is very, very snappy. There's no lag. There's nothing. Everything just works. Going in and out of. It's just a fast ROM. The only thing I do have to say about this ROM is the battery life is not as good as it is on Gingerbread. Battery life is decent. It's not terrible, but you will knock off about an hour or two off of your battery life. So before this, I got this ROM, I was probably getting a good 8 to 10 hours of battery, easy. Right now, I'm getting about 6 to 8 hours. It does have to be charged more often, and that's kind of just the way it is. But I guess that's kind of the price you pay for going to ice cream sandwich. And ice cream sandwiches eats up a little more battery. The battery life is the Epic 4G Touch. So the battery life is still good. You can still get through an entire day, with moderate use. Text messages, emails, a couple YouTube videos, text messaging, hour worth of phone calls. You can get through a day. But if you're trying to go hardcore and play games and play intensive games for 8 hours straight, that's not going to happen. But if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you need any help installing this ROM, look at my playlist. They should show you how to install it. Watch my previous video. I do give tips on how to install it, because it can be a little bit tricky. Because if you don't have the right version of Clockwork Mod, you will not be able to install this ROM or CM9. So it's just kind of the way it is. It's tricky, but it's not impossible. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You can follow me at Twitter at Second and Chord. If you like this video, like my channel, like my other videos, go ahead and subscribe. This is Second and Chord. I'm out.